So I'm about to start my first interview for this interview of an addict. I'm really excited. I'm nervous. It's what I've always wanted to do. This sort of stuff. It's my passion now, and it's a different. It's a change for me. To change. These other videos I do, they're more about journaling. I struggle to write things down. So what I do is I video it, and if anybody was interested in watching it and what I have to do every day to stay sober and clean, then fair play. But this interview with an addict, is what I wanted to do. I wanted to find a way to get this out there before, just to help people, guide people to the rooms. I try not to mention too much about fellowships, meetings, steps, all that sort of stuff, because that's their journey to find on their own. But you can't stop somebody sharing about their journey, and what they did to stay sober and clean, or to get sober and clean, and how they relapsed, and all that sort of stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy it. It's quite a long video. I mean, you can't edit out the magic, So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. So this is an interview with an addict, and you want to introduce yourself, mate?
Yeah, I'm Kieran Richardson. Been in recovery for a few years now. Not clean all the way through. Obviously, I'd be ups and downs in it, but I think at this time it's come full circle, and I've managed to stay clean for some time.
Yeah, well done, mate. Yeah, I met you in Reflections, didn't I?
Yeah.
Reflections House Recovery. I don't know what you call it, but I call it a rehab, innit?
Yeah.
Is it a rehab? You could say a rehab?
Well, it is classed as a supported housing with a
recovery,
12-step recovery program in it, but it's more or less a rehab centre, same as.
I think of it as a rehab.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I don't know what you. I think I got all my recovery from. I got all my knowledge from there. I didn't get it there.
Yeah.
Because I thought I got it there. You know what I mean? I don't know what you.
Yeah.
I thought I got it all there, but I got it sort of out a bit later on. I'm just getting it now. You know what I mean? But I learned everything I know about recovery there. And I remember you coming in actually. You're the only man, aren't you, who had his own fridge in Reflections, aren't you?
Yeah.
Did you have everything but what you needed in there?
Yeah, yeah.
Pop, crisp, fucking chocolate, Yeah, it were fucking funny. We had a good time. I think we were neighbours actually, weren't we?
Yeah.
I think I was in number 2 and you was in number 4, weren't you?
Yeah.
That was my second go in Reflections. You don't get many more chances than one, so if you do go, you don't fuck it up like we did.
Yeah, don't
right, start as where you began then, mate. Where are you from?
So I'm from Barnsley, Royston. Grown up there all my life. Moved into Barnsley town centre when I was about 16 with my parents and decided to move out of the village, but still kept close with everybody that I knew from around there. But yeah, that's I've had a pretty good upbringing, to be fair. The stigma is, I think, with a lot of addicts that you've had a bad upbringing, or you've had some sort of issues going off with your early childhood and stuff,
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that does need to be looked at, because I know a lot of people that have had a good upbringing but have not done up with their lives, and they've ended up in recovery or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't discriminate, does it?
No.
It doesn't matter where you're from. It can get you if you've had a good childhood or a bad one.
That's it. Yeah. So yeah, fucking my mum and dad always worked, so I spent a lot of time here at my grandma and granddad's, before school, after school. When I actually went to school, I didn't really spend much time there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would always, I don't know why, I was always that kid that were angry at school. I was always in trouble, always kicking off, always fighting. Always getting kicked out. That started from primary school, and it just never stopped. But yeah, in my grandma and granddad's house, it's me and my brother, my cousin and a couple of cousins. I was youngest as well, so I think I played up to that as well, you know, being
yeah.
youngest of everyone.
It's funny how you can change into whatever situation
Yeah.
you're in. I think that's the early signs of an addict. I think.
Yeah.
You know how you sort of
You adapt to
you
your
adapt to
scenario.
you do, don't you?
Yeah,
And
whatever scene you're in and stuff. Yeah.
I really believe that's true because I used to be an absolute nightmare for some people and be really good for some other
Yeah.
people. You know how to play him, don't you?
Yeah.
You know? So I can relate to that massively. Yeah. Yeah. So you went. So you was at your grandma's. You're growing up. You had a pretty good childhood. Where did you go from there?
So from age 12, I started smoking weed.
A lot of people start there, don't they?
So for me, it was I'd drunk before that. You know, I played football. I was pretty good at football for many years, and like nights out with football team and that. My dad would always let me have a beer or have a drink if I wanted one, and it wasn't seen as all bad. Or we'd go to a pub after a game and I was fucking 12, 13, and my dad would give me a beer, you know, if I wanted one. And it wasn't something that I was really bothered about. I've never been that interested in having a drink, but smoking, like when I started smoking weed, it was that different feeling. It was that calmness. It gave me, it just mellowed me out. You know, it made me calm in certain scenarios, situations. It still didn't stop me getting into trouble a lot, you know. But like when I'd be smoking it before and after school, at dinner time at school.
So you enjoyed it though, didn't you?
Yeah, it was something that I enjoyed doing, you know. But they do say it is a gateway drug, and I do, but I don't believe that, you know. I think there's a lot of people that can just smoke weed and that's them. They'll not go into other drugs and
They're
things.
just not addicts, are they? That's
the
the thing,
difference.
you know, and that's how it is.
They haven't got that addictive mentality, you know. I think that I use that in everything that I do, though. That, like, if I start something, I get addicted to it pretty quick, and I can just focus on that. Like I started doing mixed martial arts at a young age.
Obsessive.
And I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely obsessed with it. But from that, it was when I was out in the streets, like with all my mates, and like because my brother and my cousin were older than me as well. Like when I was 12, my cousin was 18, my brother was a few years older than me, so he was like nearly 15, and I used to knock about with their mates.
Yeah.
And then,
I never had that, mate, because I was the oldest, and I was a lot older than my brother, so I just sort of I did like the idea though of hanging around with all the kids, and I did try. I mean, I used to play basketball.
Yeah.
Because I'm a tall, lanky bastard.
Yeah.
But yeah, same thing. I can relate to that because I wanted to be with them, all the kids, because they could do stuff I couldn't.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be around that.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I get that.
I saw it from like say that young age at 12, like my cousin smoking weed, driving a nice car.
Yeah.
Always nice clothes, and then I'm thinking, fucking hell, what's he getting? How's he doing that?
I get that.
And it's like, it's nice women that, so I'm like, I always looked up to him, you know. I always looked up to him, because he played football even better than me.
Yeah.
He went playing for, like, Rotherham. I played for Barnes, I played for Sheffield Wednesday.
It's funny how these become your idols, don't they?
Yeah.
In life, you know,
And it's like, I was always pushed like by my mum and dad to do well at school. So I'm not a thick kid. I was good at school. I come out with still a lot of GCSEs.
Yeah,
even though
you're
I
an
live
intelligent kid, Kieran, I know that.
But if I'd applied myself more, I'd have come out with everything A to C, you know.
Yeah.
And I know I would, because I'd have just applied myself that bit better.
I
But
think
it were things that I gravitated to in school that I knew I was good at, so I just didn't bother with all else, you know.
Yeah. You get them lucky ones, don't you? You don't have to revise.
Yeah.
And get all these grades, and you just think, fucking wankers. But, you know, if you like say if you'd have put that extra 5% in, you know, didn't have these other things going on in your life, you probably would have been, you know, as clever as you can imagine. You know,
So,
I think we all are clever, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think we're. I say it a lot, clever addicts, you know, because we've managed to survive all this time, doing what we do, you know, and getting through it. And crazy.
That's it. Like people from a young age as well. I think me as well. I'd look at other people that were maybe like smoking heroin, smoking crack, injecting, and I think I'm never fucking. I'm not like them. I'm only smoking weed. I'll never go that far. Blah blah blah. This
Oh
that,
yeah,
that.
God, I said
And
that
it's
before. I'm not a crackhead.
I'm not a fucking crackhead. Fucking I look at state of them bastards there, but then like looking back on photos of me from 2 or 3 years ago, and I think fucking hell, how are people letting me walk around a bar like looking like that? Like why is no one saying out to me and why is no one?
Because you won't accept it.
Yeah,
and
that's the thing.
That is it. And fucking hell, and you just saying that brings me back to what I've just gone through now, and how I can fucking didn't even notice it, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking insane.
It's nuts.
Yeah. Go on then. So
yeah,
you've got diabetes, haven't you?
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna come on to then.
Yeah.
So like, in summer after I was nearly 13, so 12 going on 13, in summer holidays, and my auntie and my cousin used to live in Great Yarmouth. They were T4 party on beach. You know, first ever one of them, and they wanted to go. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll go there. So all week leading up to it, I was ill. I couldn't eat. I was throwing up, and my mum was like, "We can't go." I said, "Of course we can. We're not going." Ended up passing out on beach, blacked out. Fucking, I was in the middle of the beach. Fucking 1 minute I'm up dancing to a fucking band that's on fucking stage. Next minute I'm fucking blacked out, gone.
I've seen this happen before.
And to be honest with you, I could have died that day, and be all gracious I didn't. Like, you know, someone's obviously looking over me at that time.
Yeah, I believe
but, that. Due to woman that was paramedic on site, she used to work as a nurse, and she'd seen it. She'd seen this before, because at time diabetes weren't really known. Like for anybody, I was the only person in my high school that had diabetes. Only person out of fucking 2,500 kids, you know.
Yeah, so it might have been no, but not around you. Yeah.
So
it was a bit
And then but she saw signs, and she realised what had been going off. First thing she did was test my blood sugars, and they were like 40 odd. It should be between 4 and 7.
Yeah.
She knew straight away.
So you're up there, yeah.
Too high.
Yeah.
If she'd have not seen that, within 5-10 minutes I'd have got into a diabetic coma.
That's insane.
So I ended up So I ended up all that week I was about 6 stone wet through. See all my ribs,
Yeah.
I've lost that much weight. And obviously I didn't know all about it, and neither did my mum and dad. So every time I was too thirsty, I'd fucking be necking bottles of Coke and that full sugar shit, making worse.
I understand that, because I used to do the same. I've got something wrong with my blood, but not but it's not the same as you. But I used to do the same, pull back up, whatever. Just try and get. I mean, I'm not diabetic, so I don't know what you have to go through every day. But
yeah, but at time it's come on leaps and bounds now. You know, I've been, like I say, I'm nearly 35 now, so 22 years I've been diabetic. 23 years. You know,
and you've had to live with that all the way through this as well, you know.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, I do think that played a part in what I went through.
I can imagine.
Because coming up to 13 and being told that you've got to eat certain foods, inject 3-4 times a day, fucking, you've got to eat at a certain time, you can't have no snacks in between your food, you can't eat fucking pizzas, burgers, chips. It were all fucking healthy food that I like on a fucking diet from being age 12.
I'll be honest with you, I couldn't imagine anybody saying that to me.
So, you know,
I honestly, if somebody said to me, you can't have a fucking McDonald's 5 times, I'd want to have, we're having chat with, so it's like somebody saying to you, you can't have 10 drinks. But
so what I used to do is, as well, I used to fucking cheat on my bloods. Yeah. So I'd get my blood tested, I'd be out with my mates, and like I used to have to test my bloods every couple of hours.
Oh.
So I'd be testing my bloods, and I'd know that they were alright, so I'd do them. And I'm like, yeah, sound. A couple of hours later, after I'd had a joint and maybe fucking 3 bars of chocolate and a fucking bag of chips or whatever else that I shouldn't have been eating, that I wore, I'd be, one of my mates would be like, here, like what? So just test your bloods. I'd stab my mate's finger and fucking take his blood and put it in the blood machine, so he said that my bloods were alright, so then no one would know. Like fucking just lying to me, fucking diabetic nurse all the time about, yeah, my fucking blood's sound.
That's crazy,
you know.
You're killing yourself, really, you know.
I just fucking, not even realising how much damage I was doing to my body at that time at a young age. And you don't really see it, you don't understand it. But yeah, from there it just, I think that addiction for everything else just come leaps and bounds. I were always, I wouldn't say I was jealous of other people, but when I saw people with nice stuff, I'd be like, fucking, how do I get that?
Yeah.
How do I get...
What's my way around that one? Yeah.
What's my way around to get that? Like my brother, a few years older than me, so he always went to work with my dad. He were always hands on. My dad's had his own business for fucking, since I was born, you know. Doing really well with it, but my brother always went to work, and I wasn't bothered. I want that guy that wanted to go and work on a building site or the bricklaying or fucking all like that, or window fitting or all that. That just, I couldn't see myself doing that. So from there, I turned to fucking on it thing on you, which was drugs, which was selling them and fucking taking them. So from age of 12, 13, started selling weed. The reason I started selling weed is so I didn't have to buy it.
We're smart, aren't we?
Smart way to fucking save your own money and make a little bit on top, and still get your drugs that you want in.
Yep, that's what we do.
So start selling weed. From there, it just escalated through years. So when I was like 14, 15, started going out with, like I said, I would always be older and my mates. So I started then using my brother's ID, going out in town, fucking going out to pubs with everybody.
Yeah.
Started getting E's every week, fucking selling E's. From there, it just escalated as years went on. 16, 17, first time that I tried cat.
Ooh,
and
cat.
at time it
It's a
wasn't.
Barnsley thing, innit?
Yeah, at time it wasn't really that known. It wasn't a thing, and everyone were like, "Yeah, you can't get addicted to ketamine. It's you can't damage you. It just don't. It just knocks you out, basically, mellows you out."
Yeah.
And at time again, I was always in trouble. Amount of time I've been arrested and just like not charged with all, luckily.
Yeah.
Like, and even fighting with my mates. Yeah. Like even with my mates, like my mates, one of my mates once said something wrong to me. I fucking headbutted him and knocked his tooth through his lip, and his mum wanted to press charges because he's got stitches now. Still got it. He's got fucking stitches from his nose all the way down here. And I'm like, every time I see him, I feel fucking bad. Yeah. He's always like, "You alright, mate? Yeah, you good?" And I'm like, "Fucking hell, like what's going on here?"
Yeah.
You know. But I would
there was the wreckage of your past, innit? You know.
And then it was just fucking week in, week out, drinking. It started fucking Friday till Sunday, drinking, taking drugs, smoking weed through the week, on weekend, coke, pills, cat, MDMA. Then decided I wanted to go to Amsterdam, went there for an holiday as a lad's holiday when I was 17. Thought, fucking hell, it's minty, I can do what I want. Started fucking...
The laws are different here.
Yeah, laws are different, mate. I can fucking do what I want. And I was like, going into coffee shops, and I was like, fucking hell, there are magic mushrooms in here, I'm going to try them today. Yeah. Magic mushrooms, space cakes, fucking just sat there in a cafe with a beer and a fucking joint, like looking onto fucking women in red light district, thinking, fucking hell, this is life.
Yeah.
You know?
I've made it, I've arrived.
Yeah. And at that time, I really could, more or less, I could do what I wanted because I was making that much money from selling drugs and stuff, and it was nuts. It was ridiculous how much money I was making in a week, and I'd pay for 3 or 4 of my mates to come out with me on a weekend, all weekend.
Yeah.
And spend all that money and still come back with fucking more money than I went out with, you know.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, isn't it? I just pay for people's holidays and all sorts of shit, mate. It's fucking crazy. And think I was some sort of fucking hero for it, like, you know, like, oh, look at me fucking go, you know what I mean? I'm not.
Fucking
it's embarrassing, mate. People use me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. They're not, like, me now, from school. So all people that I knocked about with and were matey with from being probably age of 13 all the way up to being to now, you know, to age I am now. Yeah. There's one person I stay in contact with, which is Sean.
Yeah, I know Sean very well. He's a good guy.
And my partner, my missus.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's nuts. There are only 2 people that I still talk to from them ages.
And let's be right, it's probably the only 2 people you need.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny, isn't it? Sometimes I think an addiction, when you realise, like you have, and like I know I'm beginning to, you realise that none of them people you had before really were your friends, were they? You know, they were just
they're an acquaintance,
and they were maybe there for and don't change your life. Don't wish your life away, because what you've done in your past makes you what you are today, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I wouldn't. To be fair, I wouldn't change our my upbringing's been. I've come through what I've been through with my recovery. I wouldn't change it because that made me different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
yeah.
It's
you're exactly where you need to be
yeah,
right now, aren't
that's
you?
it. And
God's got a plan.
if that plan were meant to be different, it would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, like I said, 18, 19, just constantly partying. Then it started being through a week. Instead of going to work, I'd ring up and say, "Oh, I've got an issue." But then I'd use my diabetes as the issue why I couldn't go to work.
Yeah.
So because I knew at work that they couldn't do anything to me because it's a medical condition. If I rung up and said I'd had a fucking hypo, which is where your bloods go too low through night, you can black out and stuff. If I had said to them, right, I've had ambulance here this morning because I blacked out, I had an hypo through night and I passed out, partner had to ring ambulance, blah blah blah. I wouldn't be in today. They've told me to take a couple of days off work. They'd be like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So I know I could get away with it, and I'd use it constantly.
Yeah.
Whatever job it was that I would do. And then when I was 20-year-old, and I found out that my partner was pregnant with my son.
Yeah, I've met your son.
So that was a bit of a life-changing moment. You know, I moved into an house with my partner. My son was born, 11 days before I turned 21. So for me, I had to then grow up pretty quick.
Yep.
I had to look at myself and think, am I doing right things? Do I need to change out? And I thought, well, I'm making this much money, I can provide all he wants, I can give him what he wants. Do I really need to change what I'm doing? And that was probably the wrong way to look at it. I should have been a role model for him to look up to, rather than just focusing on the money part of things. And like, I understand it now, because when I was 20, so about 9 years ago,
yeah,
split up with my partner, that got me somewhere, and we were apart for 6, nearly 7 years. And in that time I was like, fucking hell, I'm free, can do what the fuck I want, I've got my own house, can do what I want. And because I was still having my son a couple of times a week, just picking him up, taking him out for a day, taking him, bowling, swimming, fucking just doing nice things with him, taking him to Alton Towers, taking him on holiday every year.
Hero.
I thought, I'm the man.
Yeah.
I am the man. I'm fucking gaining money, I'm doing what I want. She can't complain at me.
No.
Like,
in reality, you are doing all the good things.
Yeah, but the main thing that my son probably needed was me, not the money that I was gaining, not the things that I could give him.
I'll tell you what, I've made a mistake as well, mate, because every time my son comes around now, I buy him something.
Yeah.
I think, fucking hell, I've stopped working now. You know, what am I going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's true, isn't it?
It's one of them, yeah. They get accustomed to it, don't they?
They do.
They get accustomed to them things.
So now I'm going to have to wean him off, which is going to be fucking tough.
Bit
but anyway.
Yeah, and with my son as well, he probably needed me a lot more than I realised. Like, at the age of 3, he got diagnosed with autism.
Yeah, you've had a tough run, mate.
So it was one of them things, and at that time, my partner and myself, before she got pregnant, she would be out drinking, taking drugs, smoking weed, whatever it was, together with all his mates. When she was pregnant, she stopped everything. As soon as she had my son again, we went out week after we were born, because it was my 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Went out and got fucked, and up until my son was about, like I say, until he got diagnosed when he was 3-year-old, we were both really in that bit of a rut. We both did bits of work. She stayed at home as a mum. I went out to work. I still was doing stupid stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. But
yeah,
we thought we were doing alright because we had bits of money, we had holidays, we had a car, we had essential things that you probably needed as a family.
Yeah.
But the other things that I didn't look at is the house that we started living in. It was one of my dad's. That we were renting off my dad. I never paid him rent. I just ring him every now and again and like, Dad, I can't pay you this month. Why not? I ain't got money. I ain't got it. Just so then I could keep that money and go and fucking buy drugs with it.
Yeah. So it's a selfish addict.
Yeah. Being selfish, you know, or just saying to him, Dad, I've only got a couple £100 this month. Right, well, you have to catch up next month. Yeah, I will do. Next month comes, oh, Dad, I'll... Again, same again. For probably a good couple of years until we moved out of that house.
Yeah.
Probably owed my dad thousands upon thousands, even though I'd had that sort of money coming through my hands.
Yeah.
I still owed it my dad, and I just didn't give a fuck about
that. You don't, do you?
No. And then, like I said, when my son was diagnosed at 3-year-old, my partner walked out of that doctor's that day, and just like, I'm done. He needs me now more than I need anything else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fucking hell. And I thought it was just a fucking thing that fucking last maybe a week or something weird. And fucking 10, nearly 11 years later, she's fucking
still
doing it. Not touch another.
There is a passage. I don't ever talk about the meeting so much or the program too much because it's sort of against traditions a little bit. But there is a passage in there, and there is really fortunate people out there. There is like one where they can give it up, and I think women have more of a chance than men have because they have an attachment to the kids.
Yeah,
a
it's
bit
that
more than
maternal
that maternal
thing.
thing. Where they can just give it up, you know.
Yeah.
But that's not us, is it?
No.
You know?
And like she can have a drink. She don't really drink much, but she'll have a drink with her sister every now and again, or go out for a meal and have a drink, or if we're on holiday, she'll have a drink and stuff. And it's one of them things. She can do that, and then the next day she's not bothered. She's not.
Yeah.
She just gets on with whatever she's doing.
Yeah. And that she's not an addict, basically.
No,
you know,
that's what I always say. She's not.
And that's the reality, mate. You know, and unfortunately, you know, I used to say, oh, well, fucking right, because I fucking right drinker, this, that, you know what I mean? It used to be a right pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I used to scrap all the time, fucking fight, fucking throw bottles of fucking shit. I remember first time, I shouldn't be saying it, sorry, Holly. You know, first time she walked to my house, we had a massive fucking party, and next minute my TV, and fucking everything smashed up. I'm thinking, fuck you, it's not me, it's her. You know, it's her, you know what I mean?
It's not me.
Yeah, but she's the loveliest person you'll ever meet in your life, and she's not an addict.
Yeah.
She's fucking great. She's the best mum ever. And
that's
just like
it.
And reality is, I just didn't want to accept it was me, you know.
Yeah.
And
I kept saying to myself, like she'd say, when are you gonna just stop doing this and this that and other? And I'd be like, you'll stop when you want to stop. When I want to stop, I will stop. I can stop at any point. That was my lie. I can stop. You've done it, so I can fucking do it. Just because you've done it now and I haven't, if I want to do it next week, I'll do it next week and I'll just stop and I'll quit.
Oh my
and it
God,
was one of them things, and it's just like it caused that many arguments from there going forward, and we were always at each other's throat. Fucking like a sister's partner coming round and like nearly scrapping a few times, fucking all sorts, you know, we were just like, we were at each other constantly. So at that point we decided to obviously part ways, and I thought, fucking hell, buzzing, I can go and do what the fuck I want, I got no one to answer to, this, that and other. I'll still do what I want, so I'll still continue to fucking sell drugs, fucking for many years, you know, and luckily, touch wood, I never fucking got done with anything like that. I've had police kick my door off a few times.
But you've been clever enough.
I've been clever enough and not been
it's
anything
funny,
in the house
how
and stuff, and you know.
If you look back and probably on both our journeys, like you probably think, how the fuck did I get away with that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, all there can be for me is just somebody out there looking for me, like, looking out for me, like, you know.
Well, 2016, so the year that actually me and my partner split up, my uncle passed away. And I was close with my uncle. We always used to talk about stuff because he loved to smoke weed. He'd go out, like if he would go out with his mates, have a drink, and he loved MDMA when he were out and stuff. And,
yeah.
You know, so we had like we were pretty close, but I'd not seen him for years, and he was living down Bournemouth. And my partner's mum and her husband, they live like 20 minutes away from him. So when we used to go down a couple of times a year to see her mum with our Ashton and stuff, and she'd go to her mum's, I'd go and stay with my uncle for a few days.
Right.
And then when we split up, I kept saying to him, I'll make time, I'll come and see you, I'll get on the train, I'll come down, do whatever, I'll come and see you.
Yeah.
So every time I went down, I'd go and buy him shopping. Because first time I went down to his house, mate, I rung my mum, and I'm like, have you seen how my Uncle Mick's fucking living down here? Like, what do you mean? I said, he's got a pot noodle in his fucking cupboard, man. Got no in fridge, he's got no fucking money.
Have you been there?
But yeah, no, but I'm like, what the fuck? I says he's got nothing, he's got no money, he hasn't got out.
Yeah.
Like, well, why ain't he rung me? He knows I'd send him some money for some shopping and that. I says, well, he just don't want to ask, does he? He's not that person, he don't want to ask you for that.
I think we struggle with that stuff.
Yeah. And that's another thing, like men struggle with getting and talking about stuff, and I think that needs addressing as well.
That's why this is amazing what you're doing today for me, and well, for everybody. You know, not for me really, it's for everybody. You know, and
well, the thing
I
is,
need to hear stuff like this.
Someone hears any bit of my story and can relate to it and realises that might be them at this minute in time, and they think, fucking hell, yeah, I could do it, making that change.
Sometimes I look back and I think, I wish but I did. The problem is I did hear these stories when I first went to school. I'm going back fucking 12 years ago.
Yeah.
When I first went into a room, you know what I mean? And I heard these stories, ones like yours, you know. But the problem was I heard him, but I wasn't listening. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is the. And all I'll ever say to anybody like listening to this is if you can watch the lips move and whatever else, and things coming out of it, but you have to really open your ears though. You know what I mean? It's like, and that is what I really struggle with. You know?
That's another thing. I heard a quote of a day that I saw, and I thought it was brilliant. It was, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so listen more than you speak.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
you know, it's like, yeah, just take it in. But yeah, so then obviously I kept telling him I'd go down and see him, and every time I went down, like I said, I'd go and buy him shopping. I'd take him a couple of rounds of weed with me and say, look, don't make sure none of your mates are fucking coming and taking on any of this. Don't be selling it. Keep it for yourself, save your money.
Yeah.
Blah blah, whatever. If you were going to a festival, he'd ring me and he'd be like, you get me some bits for this festival I'm going to. Can you get me some MDMA? Blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll sort it. Yeah. And then that's how he died. He went out for one at nights with his mates.
Yeah.
I'd been drinking on MDMA. His mates didn't know where he'd gone. He'd gone home. Walked in his like bedsitter flat thing that he'd got. Sat on his settee and sparked a joint up. And his fucking body couldn't take it. His heart couldn't take it. He'd been on that much of an high with MDMA and drink. He's fucking come down too quick with smoking a joint, and he's fucking.
A lot of people have died that way.
He's died in his fucking. He's died in his seat, you know. And I always felt bad for that. I never grieved properly, you know, until I got in recovery for that. I never spoke about it. I wasn't able to speak about it without fucking crying my eyes out.
Yeah,
you
what
know?
you are doing now. So it shows
it
you
was
how
just,
far
it was just like one of them things that I couldn't get my head around. Like, could I have changed it? So I kept telling him, come up to Barnsley, come and live with me. I've got an old house, I've got a spare room. Come and live up here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and he didn't want to leave his mates that he'd got down there, you know, which is like fair enough to him. And
how do you feel about it now? Then do you have a guilt over it still? Or
yeah, I still feel guilty over that. I still carry that guilt.
I think for me, stuff like that is, I think, you know, we're hard on ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah.
Especially when we're in recovery, we're even more hard on ourselves. Because you're looking at yourself all the time, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can be too hard on yourself for that, because you know, one way or another, that your uncle would have got that what he wanted to get. You know,
and it's like
there's not much you could have done about it, really. Because could you somebody tell you no? You could.
No.
Nobody could tell you to stop, could they?
Well,
you know
like that. Just speaking about that with my uncle, like I've not since that day at his funeral been back down south.
Really?
I've not been down there, and I were friends with some of his friends, so like I'm still good mates with him on Facebook and stuff, and talk to them every now and again, asking how they're going and how their kids are, and that's I met the kids and everything, you know. And it's like when you come down, when you're down this area, come and call in, we'll have a brew and whatever else. I'm like, yeah, I will. And I've never got round to doing it.
It's funny, innit? It's funny how you.
It's like my partner will still go down to her mum's now down south, and I'll not go.
Yeah.
I'll stay up.
Stay up,
You know, and it's one of them things. I don't know whether it's something that I just don't want to face or something I just can't see me doing. I know that it is something that I'm gonna have to do at some point.
Well, I struggle going back to where I'm from, but that's a different situation.
Yeah.
But you know, I can understand it, and I think to myself, why would you want to put yourself in that situation? You know what I mean? So why would you want to? But
so it's,
I mean, you don't have to do. That's the reality.
No, you don't. That's the thing. I don't have to go down there. I don't have to do that.
No, you don't. You don't have to do anything. You know what I mean?
That's it. You make your own decisions, don't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that though. And like day before his funeral, my mum and were having a talk to me and like, look, don't this show you like what it's gonna do to you? Because my mum and dad knew everything that I was doing. Like, you know, they knew that I'd been selling drugs. They knew that I was constantly taking drugs. You know, I don't think that they saw to the extent of how bad it was, but they knew what I was doing. You know, it wasn't no fucking. They weren't oblivious to things that were going off. They weren't happy. They didn't like it.
Sometimes you think that you're like, oh, they won't know. But they do. Of course they do. Yeah.
It's like they weren't oblivious to it, but they never really spot me unless they needed to. You know, unless they thought something was seriously wrong. But
yeah.
But I've always relied on my mum and dad, you know, for money and stuff, even though I had money. Like, I'd get paid from my job, and then I'd fucking ring my mum, and I honestly think that my mum and dad already knew, but they knew that I was probably lying, but they couldn't really prove it, so I'd say to my mum, look, I ain't got no shopping in, will you go and buy me a load of shopping? I'd probably got 100 quid still left in my bank, and my mum would go and buy me shopping from fucking Asda, fill my fridge and my stuff up in cupboards, and then I'd go and use my money to fucking get me drugs, you know. Or one of them, you just.
Is it quite a cheap drug kit? Cause I've never.
Well, really... from when I first started taking it was like £20 a gram.
Yeah.
I know now you can. I don't know. I think it's like 50 quid for an eighth, you know.
Yeah. So in reality, it is compared to some of the drugs.
Compared to other drugs, it's a cheaper drug.
From what I've seen, you know, it fucking is one of the most damaging ones out there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Again, and I hold this down to probably being diabetic and stuff, because people that I've seen, including my own family, my brother, and friends that I've got that suffer with bladder problems, other issues that they get like kidneys, liver, everything. It fucking shuts a lot down. And
yeah, it's insane.
For the amount of time that I took it, so like going on 16, 17 years, for instance, I first took it to the height of
it's a high unit,
addiction, like fucking 17 years of using it, and I saw people that had been using it for 2 years that were worse off than me, but I put that down because you lose your appetite, same as most other drugs. You don't eat. If you're not drinking, you're not flushing it out of your system, so it sits in your bladder, and it corrodes your bladder. So if you're not constantly eating and drinking, which I had to do, because otherwise I'd be dead anyway.
I see what you mean. You know, So in a way, it's probably saved you as well in that sense.
So in that way, it's saved me. I've never really had the issues with my bladder or anything like that.
I never really thought about that.
I've got. Obviously, I had other issues, so I've got. I had damaged all nerves in my legs, so I got a lot of nerve damage. When I was going to doctors and hospitals about all the pains and stuff that I was getting, I couldn't sleep. Some nights I was screaming in pain, you know, and one at times my brother would come to live with me, and I was screaming in pain. He thought someone would brain me in my bedroom. He thought someone was fucking attacking me, so he's running to my room with like fucking thinking he's gonna have to fucking
do something
to somebody, and I'm just fucking laid on bed fucking screaming in pain, like that much pain, just fucking shooting pain. It felt like someone was constantly like dragging a knife down my leg, you know, just constant for like hours. And every time I went to doctors and stuff about it, they'd just be like, it could be due to your diabetes and your blood sugars, you need to get them under control, and once they're under control everything will be sorted. And I'm like, alright, so I'd use that. No, it's not because I'm taking drugs. That's what caused me. It's my diabetes. That's what's fucking me up. It's not these fucking drugs I'm taking on a daily basis. It's fucking that. It's that that's fucking me up. It's that that's fucking doing me in.
I would say all sorts of shit, mate. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like you come up with so many excuses in your mind to why you're doing it. You might have had a good day. Fucking today's been mint. Let's go out and go to pub. Fucking brilliant day. Let's go out and get fucked. Or fucking hell, I've had a fucking shit day at work. I've had this shit. This has gone off. This has gone off. Fuck that. I'm getting this. I'm having having drugs, like whether it's
Any
good or
excuse,
bad, yeah, any excuse to go and get what you want.
Yeah. Create an argument. Fucking do this, do that. Fucking, yeah.
Done that. Fucking before I went into Reflections House Recovery, so my missus and my son were living with a nana. Nana had Alzheimer's dementia. She was a full-time 24-hour carer for full-time for like past 8 years. Sadly, Nana died in this year. But she was a full-time carer and they'd got an holiday booked to Tenerife. This was beginning of 2022. And she was like, I actually want you to come. My Nana can't fly anymore, she can't fly abroad, and because of COVID they'd had to put it back a few years, so that's why she couldn't go and stuff. And,
so I really forget about COVID now, don't we? You know what I mean? Crazy time, wasn't it?
So I was like, yeah, no problem, what do I need to pay? She's like, no, it's all paid for, just pay for name change. So basically I got on holiday for fucking 10 days to Tenerife, like all inclusive. And I was like, yeah, buzzing. So I went, there were her sister, her sister's 2 kids, my son and a mum. And she was like, we started talking about an holiday because I wasn't taking drugs, but I was having a few drinks on a night, and I was in pool with kids all the time, just me with kids having a fun time. And she was like, why can't you be like this all the time? Why can't you take this on?
And it's funny, it doesn't mean that like I can control it sometimes. I can control it for a couple of hours or a couple of days. On holiday it was good because I couldn't get what I wanted.
So I'd go to beer. I'd just be first thing in the morning from like 10, 11 o'clock. I'd be drinking Disaronno and Coke, double amaretto.
Absolutely smashed.
Fucks by the time I get to fucking 8 o'clock at night. I fucking started being mates with fucking Polish and that inside thing, and fucking having shots with Polish and that inside hotel and stuff, and it was just like
insane things,
stuff, just obviously because I couldn't get the drugs. And she was like, if you get yourself sorted, we could possibly make another chance for it. And I'm like, yeah, fucking sound. So I come back off holiday, and she thought I was going to go and stop at her house that night when we got back, and I'd had an argument with her in airport. So then when I got in home back to Royston, my mate were waiting for me in the car to pick me up and fuck off. Like, just insane stuff.
Yeah, well, it's creation, isn't it? It's creation of a problem. You're making a problem so you can go fucking have your problem.
And then she was like, well, don't bother coming here. I don't want you to come here and blah, 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 just whatever. And at the time I'd give my house up, and so I'd gone back living with my mum and dad. That was fucking horrendous. I don't know why, it was just... I hated not having my own space,
You were your mum. Your problem's enhanced, isn't it? Because you're around people all the time, aren't you?
Constantly around people, and so I'm trying to get out of the house more and more, and it just wasn't a thing that I could have done.
Strange, isn't it? That?
Yeah.
I remember I did the same. I moved in with my auntie. She's dead now. Bless you. What's it? So I moved in with my auntie, and it's the same thing. I keep getting caught all the time. Fucking do this, that, you know, fucking oh god, it was so annoying. And I thought I need to get out of here, you know.
I can't be in there because I can't do what I want.
Exactly. Somebody's fucking affecting me using me, and I'm not liking it.
I don't like
stop
it.
that. Yeah.
Someone best behave. I need to continue doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then she just give me an ultimatum, like, you know, it was just like, either try and get yourself sorted, or like, this is not happening. If you continue doing what you're doing, then it's going to be like, I might have to then stop you seeing your son, which she's never done throughout all the years that we've like, she's been best mum that I could have asked for, you know. She's been there through everything for him, through all his school, getting him into specialist school that he's at now. I didn't do one bit of that, you know. And I should have really been there helping, doing them things.
No, but when you're at your lowest, you know, I suppose that's what good mums do, innit? They step up and do what they have to do.
Yeah.
You know? She knows you didn't mean to be like that, didn't she? You know,
So, and then like from that I started going to a place called Recovery Steps at Barnsley. And to be honest, it wasn't something that were really good for me, you know. I'd go in and I'd speak to someone once a week. They'd say, how much you've been using this week? So I'd tell them everything, right, next week, just reduce it by next week. Instead of taking, I don't know, an 8 a day, just have half of that. And I'd be like, are they honest? They're telling me to fucking, I can still take it, but just not as much. Like, is this what recovery is? Like, are they for real? Like, is it this it? So
I think they come from a good place, don't
Yeah.
they? I think they come from a good art, but it's not what we need.
No. And it's like, really, that's what they're telling me to do. Like, sounds, I'm telling me, like, part that, and I'm like, well, they're telling me just to reduce it. And like, she didn't understand it, and she just thought, well, you should be able to just stop with it and whatever else. And so that caused more arguments, because I'd be like, well, I'd none for a day, so I'm going out at the pub, you know, like, causing more arguments and this, that, and that.
It's what happens, isn't it? You know, I think we do. That's how we are.
And
So how did where did you actually get? Where did you get recovery? Then was it where I got it?
So yeah, I started in 2022, beginning of the year, like I said, with recovery steps. I was trying to. I'd go a week or so sometimes without taking out, and then it just I was constantly just like relapsing week in week. I'd maybe last at maximum.
So you had like a period of time what you could last for. And it's all like fucking fell off the
just
fucking
fell and broke again, and I'm like, no, need it, mate, need it. Until I finally got into. So I went to, again, like I said, where I met you at Reflections House Recovery.
Amazing place, like, isn't it?
So, to be honest, the people that I met in there, like the staff that worked in the place, the lads that were there, brilliant. Like, couldn't fault it. The knowledge that I got from one of the workers and that were there, absolutely brilliant. And he's probably helped me till today, you know.
I look at it that way. I'm not saying I didn't listen, but I listened. It was there. I just didn't want to hear it.
Didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went in beginning of November, 2022.
I remember you coming.
And I was doing fine, doing all right. Got through my steps, or nearly through the 12 steps. Got to like step 10. Went home over Christmas. First day I was at home at Christmas Day, went home, and I don't know what it was, 'cause I'd been home before. I'd stopped at home at weekends before, but I'd never really seen my brother. My brother was still in the height of his addiction.
I absolutely remember it now, yeah.
And I'd gone down to my mum and dad's. We were all going for his Christmas dinner and to give the presents and whatever else, and I felt brilliant inside. I didn't think no about having a drink, no about taking any drugs. I thought, I'm in a good place. I'm ready to do this. Went there, ended up having I don't know what it was. It was just like some sort of stupid argument about my son. Something about my son. My son had done something with one of his presents, smashed it or whatever it was. I forgot what it exactly was. Had a bit to do with my partner, my mum and dad. Went outside, just having a smoke outside, and my brother had not got out of bed. So my mum was like, you best get him out of bed. Ellie and Louis, which is his kids, had been there since fucking 6 in the morning waiting for him to get up. But he'd been out the night before. So I stormed upstairs, like, you best fucking, I was angry as fuck, best get your fucking ass out of bed, blah blah blah, your kids are waiting to open presents, get fucking up. So he's come down, done that for 10 minutes, then fucked off out. Like, where the fuck's he gone? Mum said, oh, he's gone to the pub. So what you fucking mean? His kids are here, like, what's going on? So that made me even more angry. I'm like, he's just done that, and I'm like, but I probably would have done that, you know, if I had not been in that place.
Oh yeah, you don't realise that you'd have been doing the same thing.
I'd been exactly the fucking same, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll pass
Everything's a problem, don't it?
Yeah.
Everything's a problem.
Passing judgment onto him. So anyway, I'm outside having a cig, and he just says to me, it's like, I can see you're angry. If you want some of that, I've left it in place that we always used to leave it. So we used to have an hiding spot in my mum and dad's house, you know, and it was like, if one of us went in for the day, or we were both there together at one point, or he were coming in, because at time at one point he was living with his partner, he had kids with, it's not together now, but he'd like come round and he'd be like, have you got any of that? Like, yeah, I've left it under that for you. Alright, sounds, so he'd do the same if he had, you know.
Brotherly love.
Yeah, just one of those fucking things, not fucking really seeing fucking light of day and just fucking helping each other go the wrong way. So I fucking went and I picked it up and I was like, fuck this. And I just had fucking massive fucking kick out and I'm like, did I really want that? Did I want to do that?
Bit late by that point,
and I'm like, fucking, I'm already fucking deep in it now. I'm like,
so how far were you in then? She was at step 10, which is quite far on in recovery. Yeah. So you're getting towards your working it every day, aren't you, basically? Yeah.
So in my step 10s, I'd been, I think it was like 6-7 weeks clean.
Yeah.
At point. And as soon as it were offered to me, mate, I didn't turn it down. You know, I could have said no, go on.
You still didn't have a program, did you?
Yeah.
You didn't have a solution yet.
Didn't have that solution to that issue, and to be honest as well, I didn't. When I first got into reflections, I didn't know how to show any emotion. Didn't know how to show when stuff was going wrong, when I felt shit, if something had pissed me off. I remember
you being quite angry.
Yeah,
you were quite angry, weren't you?
I was always angry.
But you're not now, are you?
Like a few lads in the house, I had fucking arguments, nearly fighting with lads in the house, fucking wanted to break people all the time. I don't like. I understand now that like that were a part of me. That's who I was. That's how I've been brought up, and that's how I've been fetched up to be. Like, don't let anybody step on your toes. Don't let anybody make you feel insecure. Don't let anybody fucking put you on back foot.
I always liked you, Kierans.
You know.
I think you always said what you felt.
Yeah, if I had something to say, I'd say it, and I wouldn't care who were upset by it. I wouldn't care who got pissed off or whatever. If I
it's honesty in a way, isn't it? So
I was, to be fair, I was really honest with everybody on what I thought of them, and if they didn't like it, they didn't like it. If they didn't like me, they didn't like me. I had that chip on my shoulder. Like, well, you don't like me, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I am who I am. Either like me or hate me. It's fucking one of them.
Yeah.
At that day at Christmas, I ended up having some drugs, caused a massive argument because as soon as I walked back into the living room, like, we were playing like games and stuff with mum and dad and kids and that, and quizzes and stuff, and I just couldn't fucking think or I couldn't fucking say or I just fucking sat there, and my partner just looked at me. As I looked at her, she fucking knew. She stood up straight away and she was like, "You've been on fucking that, where you got it from, who had it off? Have you fucking..." Started going on at my brother, and he's like, I ain't done it, it ain't me. Like, fucking, I don't know what you're on about.
You look even more suspicious, don't you? Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say at that point.
What the fuck you on about?
Is it funny how women, my ex-partner used to fucking know like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't even with her. I'd be on phone, I'd say one thing.
Right.
You're on it.
You're on it.
Yeah.
Same. And she knew straight away. She fucking kicked off. She fucking picked my phone up and threw my phone at me, nearly knocked my teeth out, smacked me straight in the face. I'm like, fuck this. Fucking got up. I'm not fucking dealing with this. Fucking got fucking took a load of fucking cat and that in my pocket. I'm like, fuck you all. Fucking got my coat on. Fucking just stormed out of mum and dad's house. Fucking went off. Put my headphones in. My mum and dad were ringing me. I kept hanging up. She was ringing me. Kept hanging up. My son would ring me.
Sorry, you can't see me.
Out that. Yeah, I'm not at work, mate, but I'm just doing this thing with Ben called Interview with an Addict. So he's just... No, I'm just sat with him now, yeah. Put him on.
Hey up, Sean. How are you doing, mate?
Hey, man.
How's it going? Alright, mate, alright, yeah. Not bad. How's things feel? Alright?
Yeah, not bad.
Good. You're currently being recorded, mate. I don't worry, I'll edit it out. You're currently being recorded, mate, but I'll edit it out, don't worry.
Yeah. Don't you ring you back or what?
Yeah, I'll ring you back shortly, mate, when I'm done. Alright, bye. So yeah, I went out and I just felt so fucking shit that I'd let not just myself down but everybody else down, you know, from that one mistake.
I remember you coming back.
Yeah, and basically what I did is I really didn't want to be there no more. I didn't think anybody wanted me. Didn't think I was good enough for anybody. I thought I'm just that same fucking loser as before, you know.
Back to self-pity, innit?
Yeah.
That's the right word, isn't it, really?
A lot of self-pity, mate. I were on way to Woods, mate. I was ready to fucking end this, and you know. And with that, it's not first time, you know, like, I probably missed it out, but when I was a bit younger as well, tried killing myself when I was 16, tried doing it again when I was about 19.
Tough, innit?
Just that mental, I couldn't see a way out, you know. Couldn't see a way out, a way that I was living.
And how long you got to put up with that as well, you know? I mean, how old are you now? You're similar to
so I'm 34.
Yeah, so you're younger than me. Yeah, so that's a long time of fucking dealing with this shit.
Yeah, and so that day I was like, I'm done. So I just sent a message to my partner, like, I'm fucking done. I'm not gonna be here. Don't be ringing me. Don't look for me. Like, you'll not find me. I'm fucking done. And then she rung my mate Sean, who were in Reflections at the time.
Yeah.
He was the main reason that I got in there. You know, I kept ringing him when he first went in, and he was telling me how good it was and how much it's going to change his life and that I should go in. So he was one that gave me that push to actually ring up and.
And it's
and
crazy,
go in,
isn't it, how people, you see other people doing it, like what we're talking about now, you see other people doing it, you want a bit of that, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, first of all, you probably think they're lying bastards,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It can't be
They're,
that fucking
they're
good.
probably all fucking using it fucking backyard somewhere,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Fuck
And
yeah.
then he rung me. I didn't answer. He kept ringing me, messaging me like, look mate, look, don't stupid. Just ring me. I need to speak to you. Just ring me. So I rung him and I sat on a fucking on a wall near Woods at Norton. And he's like, don't fucking do all daft. Just ring Reflections up. Tell them what's happened. Ring your sponsor. Blah de blah. See what they say. Which I did. I rung manager.
Yeah.
And he just said, look, get in tonight if you can. If not, come back through tomorrow. We'll have a talk on after a couple of days when everyone's back in, with everyone in office, see what they want to do, whether they'll let you stay or not. Luckily they did. They let me stay. They asked me to go back through my steps with my sponsor, which I did. Finally completed my 12 steps. And I was in a really good place then. Stayed in then until like April. So another nearly 4 months stayed.
Yeah,
and
I think I was in there with
At,
you all
at the
there.
time, the only reason that I left as well at that time is due to obviously the pains that I was getting in my legs. At Reflections, there were only certain like painkillers or things that you were allowed.
Yeah.
And the ones that I were getting prescribed after I had the last test for me damaged nerves in my legs. I wasn't able to have them in house.
Yeah.
So I was like,
It's
look,
quite
that's-
strict with that stuff.
Yeah,
I
so-
suppose for a good reason, I imagine. But
Yeah, so I decided to leave. I thought I was in a good place. I was still going to meetings, outside meetings, CA meetings, 2 or 3 times a week. Met a lot of good people in there as well. And yeah, I was in a really good place. Ended up going on holiday with my partner in May time. And I thought that was going to be a big test, you know.
I remember seeing the pictures actually. Yeah, it looks good.
And went on holiday, just me and my missus, because my mum and dad had took my son on holiday, so we were like, look, we'll go away. We don't do it. We don't go just us. Had a really good holiday, and I got it planned for a month, so a couple of months that I was going to propose to her on holiday, which I did. Said yeah.
Congratulations.
But yeah, it's just one of them things. And like that holiday, like my partner was like, so are you sure you don't want to drink? Like, she thought that because I'd been clean for a bit that I'd be alright to have a drink and just not take the drugs. And I'm like, no, don't want to do it. So I spent all the holiday not drinking. And at the beginning, of the first few days, she wouldn't have a drink. And I'm like, look, I'm not stopping you doing it. It's weird that you're not doing it because I'm not.
Yeah,
like,
it's feel like you're.
Yeah.
People are tiptoeing around you.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah, my mum's
Yeah.
at Christmas. So mate, even now,
Yeah.
she'll go, oh, we won't have it. No, honestly, I'd feel even worse if you didn't.
If
You know
you
what I
didn't,
mean?
yeah, so I was like, yeah, just do it. And then first couple of nights I was walking back into hotel, carrying her into hotel, fucking going up to the bar, and she was like, get some drinks for the room. So I was walking upstairs with like 4 pints, and she was getting a glass of Coke for me, kind of, you know. I'm like, this is not normal, you know, it's fucking, but, you know, I felt good in myself for being able to do that on holiday. Stayed clean for quite some time. And
Quite a risk, like, but yeah.
And I thought, because I'd done that on holiday, I thought, yeah, I've got it, I know what I'm doing, I've got my head in this, I know that I can stay clean, blah blah blah, I know that I can be with certain people and they could have a drink round me and I'm not going to be bothered. It's just that bit of delusion in it, that I think started to creep in at that time.
So what did you what do you think you put down? Like, what changed?
I was always a big person, and I am now. Journaling, writing, because for some reason I couldn't speak about how I felt, but I could write it, and I still do it now. I've written fucking poem after poem. Like I've got on my phone, I've probably got 10 different poems about recovery, about days that I felt shit, days that I felt good. You know, just certain emotions that I wanted to get out.
And absolutely
certain
everybody's
people.
different, aren't they? Because I
Yeah.
find it easy to speak.
Yeah,
Not about everything, but most things.
most things.
But I can't write. I can't
Yeah.
write it down. I have no energy for it. I have no
Yeah.
fucking thing. But you think
So
that's your way.
that was me, and it was just. I know now looking back that it kept creeping in. So I'd miss doing my morning prayers, meditation. I'd miss doing my journaling at night, and I'd be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'd do it, and then a couple of days later I'd do it same again. So a couple of days a week I'd stop doing it, and then try catch back up, and stress myself out that I'd not done it, and whatever else. And again, it come to near my uncle's anniversary of his death. Not dealt with it properly, and every year what I used to do on his either his birthday or anniversary of his death or whatever, I'd have a drink and have a smoke a joint for him,
Yeah.
and I didn't that year, and it was weird, I couldn't come to terms with it, I couldn't get it around my head, but I knew at that time I'd then slowly started making excuses of why I couldn't go to a meeting on a night. So I'd be like, so this week, I'm fucking too tired, I'm not going today, I'm fucked, I need to get to bed, I'm going to bed early, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'd just go to bed and go to sleep.
This addiction, this disease, it's a disease, unfortunately it's a disease, that's what we've got, it wants us on our own, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It wants us fucking isolated and fucking, literally locked in a fucking room,
Locked in a
curtain
room.
shut, fucking,
That's
fuck
what it
you.
was, mate.
Yeah.
And then I'd just like, I can see it now, but at the time I didn't, I reckon if I'd have picked it up on it at the time, I'd have forced myself to these meetings and like made myself do the things that I was doing daily that I've been shown in reflections and in my recovery by other people. And it just carried on that for a few months. And then finally, I went to, I'd been like getting dizzy spells and stuff and didn't know what were going off. Kept like nearly blacking out, so at times I'd stand up and it was weird. And I started speaking to my mum and dad about it, like asking if they'd like it were all in family that it could have been that this, that and other. So I started going to doctors in the hospital about it. Had an MRI scan. A couple of days later, they called me straight back in. And doctor just said, look, I need to give worst case scenario, it could be a cyst that you've got in your brain. If it is what we think, and it is too far gone that we can do anything with it, you might not live,
No,
so then I then just were like, why have I put myself through all this fucking shit, got myself clean, I've got myself my family back, my son, I'm living with my son, I'm in his life day in day out, doing things with him week in week out. I just couldn't come to terms with it, I couldn't come to terms with I've got clean and then this is going to happen to me and I'm not going to be here to see him grow up, see my family, I've just got engaged, I'm not going to be here, we're not going to be able to get married, all these things just going through my head.
Wow. Yeah,
and
what a thing to go through, mate.
It was just one of them things that I couldn't come to terms with in my head, because I was seeing, like I was praying to my higher power every day, for certain things, and I'd never asked for anything for me. I was asking for all my family to be healthy, and just things that you do, stay clean for another day, this, that, and other. And I thought, if I'm doing the right things day in day out, why is something bad happening to me? Why me? It were always why is it happening to me?
I suppose that's a little bit of the whole self-pity thing.
Self-pity again, just like why me? Not realising that it might not be that. They've just got to tell me that. I didn't take none of that in. I just went straight to the pub. First thing I did, necking drinks. Started getting some drugs, sniffing drugs.
Yeah.
Like that. within half an hour I've been told that hospital.
How fast it can escalate.
And I was like, no one can be mad at me for this because this is what's going off. No one can tell me I shouldn't be doing it because they haven't been told this like me. They ain't got this going off. They don't know what it's like. They can't be mad at me for this. My missus can't kick me out. My mum and dad can't be mad. No one can be angry at me. My sponsor can't say out to me because this is what's going off. Like, instead of just thinking rational about it and probably ringing my sponsor and speaking to him about what's going off, and then maybe going and sitting down having a coffee about it, and he may be able to give you that
talk around
really, from what I'm doing.
Because sometimes we're blinded out by it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're blinded by our disease. It wants. Like
It wants you to think something that, right, this is what you need to do to suppress these how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Suppress this, suppress that. This is what you need to do to stop feeling this way.
Yeah.
And that's what I did straight away. Went on a bender for a few days.
So I take it you didn't end too well.
No, didn't really end well, mate. Not at all. Went home after that. Probably caused some more arguments. Ended up going back living with my mum and dad for about a month.
And saying after what you've all just been through, to go back there again seems harder than it does to stay sober, doesn't it, and clean.
And then, promised my missus again that don't worry, I'll go back to my meetings, I'll get clean. And I was just lying, I was like, look, I'm going to go back to the gym, I'm going to do this, that and other. And every day I was going to gym. I went to gym religiously. And Monday to Saturday, I was in gym every morning for a good couple of hours. But then as soon as I'd finished in gym, I'd already got a bag in my pocket, and I'd have that before I went and sat in sauna. I'd be fucked sitting in sauna knowing that I'd come round in sauna, be able to get a shower, stay out for another hour, go and get food on my way home, and my missus wouldn't know. My missus wouldn't know.
Hot bath for me used to do it for me, same thing, you know what I mean? I used to fucking have a lot of that from hot bath, fuck it, sound alright again then.
Yeah, and it's like, it's just that insanity, innit? Thinking that they probably didn't know, and she knew, she'd just kick off, and then I'd go to bed thinking, fuck yeah. You know, it started being every week to being every other day to being every single day, every minute of the day. If I couldn't get it within 10 minutes, I'd be fucking ringing 20 other people, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Just whoever were getting
absolutely
to me first.
Going through it first, scrolling
yeah.
up.
Like, who's closest,
who's text me
on.
last, somebody's on here.
Someone's on. Yeah, it's just one of them.
Then you see that active, yes!
Yeah, just that thing like thinking, fucking hell, buzzing, yes, let's ring them, they're about. Lying where I was going, lying what I was doing. And yeah, that just escalated for next 4 or 5 months. And throughout the whole time of me using, that 4 or 5 months when I knew that there was an answer, when I knew how to get out of it, but I couldn't do it.
I suppose what you're saying by that is that you already had the solution, didn't you?
Yeah.
The answer to your problems, but like I said,
I didn't want to know that answer.
So is that like self-destruct mode, isn't it?
Yeah, you it was worst. It's got to be worst 5 months in my addiction.
Because you knew an answer.
Yeah, because I knew the answer.
That is it.
So
it's because you knew the answer, and they say, don't they? I can do one thing for you. I'll fuck you using up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll fuck you right up for you. You know what I mean? Because once you know that way out, and you read that news, the guilt is fucking intense.
Yeah,
you know?
it's just even worse. It swallows you up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then you sit in more self-pity. You start feeling worthless and like, what the fuck am I doing again? Why have I done this? I was doing so well. Like, I had people messaging me. Because I'd put quite a bit about my recovery and stuff, you know. I put a lot of pressure on myself with my recovery because I put a lot of it on social media and stuff and trying to reach out.
It can be a bit of a problem, that, can't it?
Yeah. So I started doing that quite a lot, and I'd have people messaging me like daily, just saying, "Oh, I love that you've put on today, mate. Keep going. You've inspired me to probably try and reach out." And I'd be conversing with these people. If you need anybody to talk to, if you want to message me, ring me, this is my number, you know. And I'm like, I've let not just myself down, I've
let everybody down.
Like, fucking hell, I'm so shit.
I did a similar thing, you know.
And then
similar thing. It's horrible, isn't it?
I spot one of managers again at Reflections, and known him for obviously a long time, and he just said, look, we'll get you in as soon as we can. Can't give you any dates. It might be a month, might be a couple of months, whatever. And from me ringing him, within 2 weeks, he got me in. You know,
it's amazing, isn't it? The waiting list there is a fucking big waiting list.
It's a big waiting list. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 months at a time normally. It's massive, ridiculous, and it's just obviously
just looking at it, really.
Yeah,
you know.
And I think it come down to that. I think they probably tried ringing a few other people that day that didn't answer, and he rung me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm
and that's what it is. That is exactly how it works there. You know, there'll be a list, and
if you miss the phone call,
unfortunately, you have to wait again. Yeah,
and it will.
It is like that.
So I went in.
This disease don't wait for people, does it? You know what I mean?
And I was actually working away, and I told, obviously, I was with my dad away down near Essex, and he's like, I said to him, I'll drive my own car down, because if they ring me, I'm leaving, like, I'm going up home. Like, yeah, no worries. He were happy for me to do it, because he knew like how bad it had got again and whatever else. And he knew that I wanted to try and help myself again. So yeah, March this year, 4th of March. Got the phone call on 3rd of March when I was in Essex, and they were like, look, need you in tomorrow by 5 o'clock. No problem. So next morning, first thing in the morning, drove straight up. Up 4 hours, went home, waited at home for my son to get in from school, told him that I'll go in working away for a bit again.
Kids don't need to know that.
And what it is. The thing is, if when he's older he asks me about it, I'll tell him. I'll not lie to him about anything like that.
That's why I'm doing my videos.
I've got a niece. She's 14, and she knows. She's not daft. She knew why I was there. And I've always said, if she ever needs to speak to me and wants to talk to me about anything, ask me. Speak to me. Like,
you're an open book these days.
Yeah, you know, like I'll tell you whatever you want to know. And it's just because I was their similar age to like her and my niece, my son, when I got into what I was doing at that age. It's obviously a little bit different with my son being autistic, because he don't really go that many places on him, saying he's got a few mates that'll go and play football with him, whatnot. But she's out with her mates all the time, and it's just one of them things. I don't want them going down that same path.
And it's not just men who are affected by this, is it?
No.
This disease, it's women. There's anybody. It's don't discriminate. It's fucking you literally.
So, you know,
and I know there's a big problem in Barnsley, Rotherham area with ketamine.
Yeah.
And I know women are very, very affected there as well. You know, it can really write them off, can't it? You know?
It can. Yeah. So it's one of them things, and obviously from that, it's just like as soon as I got back in, it had changed a little bit. The house had changed, and a few different rules and stuff in the house, but generally what's same like groups that you go to, same meetings and whatnot. And lads, I knew a couple of lads from before that were in again.
Yeah. It's always helpful, that, isn't it, when you go back in again?
And it was just meeting certain lads that come in on the same day as me as well, which were a good thing.
Yeah. There's a
relation. They were that thing. So I went in on Tuesday, I think it was, and a couple of lads coming on Wednesday morning. So I was like, yeah, you knew I only come in yesterday, but I've been here for this. I'd help them out if they needed help, and you know, because I knew basically just what went off.
Did you become a wise owl in house?
Yeah, yeah. I just because I knew how it worked, and I knew how office worked, and I knew if you did rate things that you probably won't get spotted by office, you know.
Yeah. You just stay out of the way.
Yeah, you just stay out of the way.
Do your own thing. Think about your recovery, and Reflections House will do everything else for you. You know what I mean? They will help you.
Just do as you suggested by your sponsor, and just get on with it.
Yeah.
But as I went in, it's a bit strange because I were in after 2 weeks, and my partner's Nanan, who she were caring for, got took into hospital, really poorly, and again I prayed for her, you know, and it's weird. I say it's weird because it's like deja vu. Because first time I went into Reflections, I'd been in 3 weeks, and then Nanan got really ill, and they gave her 24 hours to live, and they did the same again.
Crazy, isn't it?
And first time that I prayed for anybody other than something for me, you know, first time when in recovery.
It's out of prayer,
and she and obviously she lasted another couple of years, but she got really ill, and I like saying to my partner, well, I'll come home, I'll just drop everything, I'll come back. And she's like, no, you can't do it, there's no you can change, it is what it is. So what I did is I went home at weekend, just to see obviously Nana and family and stuff, and decided to take my car back over to Reflections, which ain't a good idea when you're in the main house, you can't have your car.
No.
And they found out that I got my car, but that week when my partner, she stayed in hospital all week, my son was stopping at my mum and dad's, they were taking him to school, from school, like feeding him, whatever else, so I'd be going home, taking him some more clothes down to my mum and dad's, taking her clothes up to the hospital, so she could have a wash and change, taking my dogs out that I'd got, making sure they were fed and watered, and then going back through to Reflections. So I'd done my meetings through there at Reflections, what you had to do, what compulsory to do.
Yeah.
Go home for a few hours, come back on a night, go to my meeting on a night out at house, and then it got to Friday, and they pulled me in office, and I'd spoke to my sponsor about like what I'd been doing, like seeing you, a few people knew that I got my car, and I just said to him, look, yeah, I've had my car here, but this is the reason. Like, you knew why I'd been going home. I've told you I've been going home, but I didn't tell you I've been driving home.
Yeah.
I just knew I've been going home because the train station outside, I thought I'd been getting on a train. I said, but I've been driving home. It's just more convenient for me for what I'm doing. Like, if I get train,
There's a rule against that.
yeah. But there is the rule, and obviously it's part of their thing. And I'd only been in there 4 weeks, and I felt a bit aggrieved that the one really understanding what I was going through, like what we're going on.
Yeah, I can see both sides.
Things, you know. Yeah. So I went to physio that morning. Got a physio appointment. Went to physio. On the way back, one of the lads rung me. He'd been kicked out. So I'm like, "Is have you been?" So I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, I said I'll find out now." So I messaged someone in the house and just said, "Have I been kicked out?" Same as other lad. They're like, "Yeah, sorry about it, mate. It's not our decision. It's manager decision, boss guy." I'm like, alright, no problem, I'll see you in 5 minutes. I walked in there, mate, and I was not an happy man. I wanted to smash folks, I wanted to fucking drag people about. I walked in with that attitude, like, if anybody said out to me, I'm gonna fucking punch somebody. Like, they can't even understand what I've been going through, and they're just gonna kick me out like that. My partner's got enough to worry about at home without me coming home now. Wondering whether I've got my recovery and whether I'm just going to use that as an excuse to go to the pub and get fucked, you know. But I knew that I needed to stay strong, you know, for my partner mainly, and my son. Yeah. They've lived with Nana for, like, my son's grown up in the house since he was like 2 year old, you know. 2 or 3 year old, he's lived there. So he got very close to her and stuff, and
it's difficult for kids, they don't really understand it. Especially with a kid with autism as well.
And it didn't even know how he was going to react to it, and didn't know how he was going to deal with it himself. So I knew that I just had to stay strong at that point. Fortunately, Nana died in May, after I'd been home for a month or so, and it was strange. It was strange, you know. It was just Nana died in April, end of April. And it was just a strange thing. And I just knew that if I didn't get my recovery then, like, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason, because Nana died the day that I'd been out somewhere and I come back into the house, and she died when I was on the phone to one of the lads from Reflections. I was talking to her on the phone, and like, fucking hell, what's going off? And she died in the next room, you know. And it was one of them things that I had to come to terms with and try and be strong for my partner and everything else. Even though I'd got a lot of stuff going off, I knew that I couldn't put no more pressure on anybody else, you know. So from that day, I left Reflections. And still to this day, you know, I'm still clean and sober by grace of God, by my higher power, whatever it is that's helping me. Well there's a lot of good things that's come from it, you know, in the past 8 months. One of the main things that I'm going to be doing, spoke about it briefly, is we'll be working for a company called CGL, Change, Grow, Live.
Yeah. That's where's that based?
So it's going to be in Sheffield and Rotherham. They've got two that I'm going to be working out at. They've got 2 probation officers, so they've got a load of different areas that they work with.
You have to ask them if you can give them a link in YouTube.
Yeah, they work with a few other areas. They've got probation areas. They've got other sort of things like young kids, recovery side. They've got their own like rehab units up and down country. They're all over country, and I'm going to be going in there and learning from them on how they deal with certain things. Just been on a few-day course, just going over certain things like protocols and things and data management and how to deal with certain situations. If you speak with someone, they get irate or whatever, you know.
You'll know that quite well.
I know that, yeah. You can speak to someone.
Right, innit?
But yeah, just helping people that are in probation that possibly don't see that they've, or know that they've got an issue but don't know an answer, or that don't see that.
Or you can at least push it that way, can't you? You know, so.
Or that don't see that there is probably what they're doing. There's a reason why they keep reoccurring with the offences, or they keep in and out of prison, keep in and out of courts, you know. And a lot of time it is drugs, alcohol, or circumstances that they're in. So just helping people like maybe rehome and help them get into, show them what meetings are available, show them, like just go through a recovery type thing with them.
I'm just going to summarise though what you've just said there. So this is the difference this time for me, how I see it, you know. And I see you already had the answer anyway. Yeah. So you already did, didn't you? But then you decided to use it now. You know, you're staying connected in recovery in forms that you need to.
Yeah.
You know, and that is all you ever need to do, innit?
Yeah.
I think Dave used to say, didn't he? Sorry, we've got to mention Dave. Trust God, clean house, open us. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. If it says it all. You see, the people that I know that have stayed in recovery, you know, that have worked in reflections or that have been in reflections, that have stayed connected to the meetings, stayed connected to helping others, and the multiple years clean, you know. I could sit and dwell on that. I could sit and dwell like, fucking hell, in a week's time I should be 2 years clean if I'd have stayed clean from the start, you know.
Jim, I honestly, mate, I could fucking say it.
And that's one of the things that I used to think to myself, when I first was starting getting back into it, and I'm like, I know that kid because he come in when I left, and I should be cleaning.
Doesn't fucking matter.
It don't matter. Your clean time don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I've
seen some absolutely amazing people get it and then lose it because they put it down.
Put it down, and that's all it is.
I've been through bringing myself. I've had ego up here. I've had it down here. I've had fucking self pity. I've had fucking this. I've had that. I've seen you do it. I've seen you walk in, walk out, fucking feel good, feel bad, feel this, feel that. Go through some of the worst things you've ever can imagine in your life. And then, but look what happens today. Somebody's got a plan for us, hasn't they?
Yeah.
And it maybe want your time right then, and it want my time, but it seems to be we're both doing well at the minute. Let's hope it's that time today, innit?
That's it.
I'm proud of you, mate. I think you've done an amazing job, and you're still doing it today, are you? So that's it.
Yeah.
It's good to see you again as well.
Yeah,
it's been a while, isn't it? Yeah,
been a while. But
yeah,
I'm happy to come and obviously shed some light on myself and on what I do through my addiction and my recovery.
Yeah.
Like we both said a few times, if we reach just one other person, man, and can help that person, you know, it's a win. It's a win, you know. Or even if it's just that little bit of a light bulb moment that someone might get.
And it could happen at any time, can't it? So that is fucking fantastic stuff. Thank you for coming, by the way, mate. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Give us a call.
Yeah, nice one, mate.
Nice one, mate. No, I really appreciate that. It's the first one we've done of these, obviously. I'm going to link up some of the places we talked about, if we can, with obviously what Kieran just said. I'm definitely going to link in reflections. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and hopefully we stay sober and everybody else does as well. So I just want to say a massive thank you to Kieran for doing that. How brave that is to be able to do that and put your life on social media, really. That's what he's done. But he's done it for people out there who might listen to that and might think, well, if he's done it, can I? You know? I just think if this reaches one person and it changes one person's thought process on recovery, and that we're not all just fucking god-bothering bastards, or you know, or whatever else you want to we have a life today, and we didn't have a life before. We had no life. Life was impossible. We had an illness, but we didn't understand. We had a disease, and our problem was alcohol and drugs. That's what we used. The solution, as I've said before, is, meetings are for finding a sponsor and connecting with addicts. That is it, really. But that's imperative. So I can't make anybody go into a room or walk into a room or try and get a sponsor or tell you anything about it, because that's not my job. My job is to tell you that it does work. And if you want any information on this sort of stuff and guidance, I can help you and guide you in the right direction, but I can't. I'm not in a position to help you at all. I will link in places what you can ring up or you can speak to. I can talk to you. I have enough knowledge on this stuff to be able to guide you in the right direction, but that's as far as I can go. And I hope and I wish you the best of luck in your journey if you do start.